It's like, okay, I have imposter syndrome because I believe I don't belong in this room. I believe all these other people are way better than me in some way. Therefore, the only way for me to earn the right to enter this room is to be perfect or create something perfect.
Mm.
So like there's this relationship between imposter syndrome and perfectionism, because it's like once I am perfect or once I have created something perfect, my imposter syndrome will go away because I will be perfect. I will deserve to be in this room. But the reality is that never happens. How do you navigate this or think about it?
There's this difference between what's cool and what's meaningful. Like, this was a cool thing. This was a cool interaction. And this was a meaningful interaction. And sometimes it's cool, like, to get a message from someone that you idolize and that you admire. It's also really meaningful when you get a message from someone who says, wow, this particular post really helped me get through this. It's not necessarily that we're trying to do this until we hit some kind of quality threshold. What we're really trying to do is get to a place where we align our actions with what feels meaningful and fulfilling. And if we can get to that place, then that's the game. I have 3 rules for my high school students for their projects. The first one of those rules is it has to be meaningful to them. And that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be like dramatic or it has to be some gut wrenching, vulnerable thing that they're creating. It just needs to be meaningful to them. If they want to make people laugh because that's how they feel fulfillment, then that's fine. It has to be meaningful, has to be collaborative, and lastly, it has to be polished. And that's or at least polished to the best of our ability. So those are our 3 rules, and we keep it simple. And it's the same with my cohort students in thinking in visual metaphors, in that we are really trying to create work that basically practices and exercises our muscle to feel in a state of flow. Like, I kind of equate creativity with flow, and I equate flow with presence. And so I don't know, mindfulness and whatnot. That's been my way of being mindful in life, which is getting into a state of flow where you're just like 100% present in what you're doing. And I think being able to just find that thread, because there's all this little stuff, like there's all these different threads that are just constantly moving around, and all the feelings and emotions that you're feeling as you're trying to navigate, especially the online space. What you need to do is just find one thread that gives you value, gives you meaning in the practice that it is that you're doing. And that thread can be different. Like, you can take this thread, sew it into something, and then take another thread out of here and like, okay, this is now meaningful for me. And that can change as you progress. But that is kind of what, again, I think is the holy grail in terms of the practice that you're doing, is just trying to remember that sometimes what's cool is not always meaningful, and trying to remember that even though if something feels hard, that doesn't mean that we should try to find a way around it, because sometimes the most challenging things are the most fulfilling things. So we want to kind of lean into those things.